Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
If you like pina colada.
On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo. We made it to Wednesday. We had a weird discussion here on Sports 56 Happy Hour. You know, you got your buddy Johnny Radio, you got Gabe Kuhn. We always have weird discussions. But we talked about earlier in the week, like, some people just don't like Mondays. Like, they call it that stupid thing, the Mondays. Oh, he's got the Mondays. Man, I dig Monday, man. We just had a dope weekend. Usually after a Monday, there's a lot to talk about. I'm ready to break things down. I like the Tipsy Tuesday. And then there's nothing like a good hump day, because you know what hump day does? It just helps you see that tomorrow is Friday's Eve, and the following day is Friday, and then the party's back on. So now you can see the partying back again. Speaking of the partying coming back, our sports coming back. It seems like we talked about this week that everybody, even like Gavin Newsom, people who said, no sports. Now they're like, yeah, we need some pro sports. Governor Cuomo, like, yeah, we need some pro teams. Everybody's kind of rallying around this. And you even have voting coming up. And it looks like, dude, as early as July, no later than, as early as June, no later than July. Looks like most all the major conferences with the vote. Now, voting is happening, okay? But from what everybody is leaking, that everybody's going to vote to open up these voluntary workouts. So you have to admit, from where we were just a week ago to where we are today, it is scary in the aspect that they can't mess up because we only get one shot. You only get one opportunity. What is it? Vomit on spaghetti and mama's ready.
Vomit on his sweater already.
Yeah.
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but you must be. You're referring to the vote today.
The vote,
the NCAA
yes.
Council.
Yes, I am. You know,
saying that they can open, but then it's gonna. But then the other thing is, it's gonna fall on the schools and the conferences after that.
Yes,
and then on the 22nd here on Friday, the SEC is gonna vote,
and then the Big 12 and the Big 10 are also voting this week. And by the way, Big 10 is basically like saying, like, the leaks that are coming out of them is that if the NCAA passes this, that they're going to open things up voluntarily in the end of June. So that's, SEC, you already know that they're ready to go. I mean, they basically
sounds like something we could talk to John Luke McCourt about at 1:30.
We are definitely going to get into it with John Luke today at 1:30. And there's just, again, the thing about this is yes, we only have one shot, but if y'all can't feel hopeful right now, then I don't really know what to say to you people, because I know one thing, I'm getting itchy and excited, and I have a lot of hope in me. Now, I want to remind y'all, it is May. It's mental, like this is Mental Health Awareness Month. And Hannah Hall, a young lady, she's a 5'3" Division I point guard out of the University at Buffalo. She has put out her story. It's gone viral. It's very inspirational. She is dope as all get out. Check it out. You can see it on my Twitter at Johnny_radio. We'll talk about that later. Don't forget at G_KUHN71 for Gabe Kuhn. And we're also going to talk about, by the way, is if you haven't seen, Mike Conley just continues to show that the dude isn't just great at dropping dimes on the court, but the dude drops dimes all over the place, and people that need them pick them up. And I'm not talking about like a dime. I mean, he's dropping dimes like $10K. He dropped $200K to fight coronavirus. And to be honest with you, some people want to say something. Mike's probably a better humanitarian than even my man Michael Jordan. He's probably a nicer guy too. But he still didn't do more for the game of basketball than MJ.
I don't think that's a question.
Yeah, but he still didn't do more than for the game of basketball than MJ, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. We're going to talk about so many things. We have the leadoff John Luke McCord. We got some crazy stuff at 2 o'clock to get in. Hardwood feels so damn good, but we're about to go to the leadoff. Before we get there, I want to say one quick thing. Thank you, Chad Gatlin. Thank you, Memphis Farmers. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for always being here. And thank you for helping out your customers, giving out discounts to people because of the COVID-19, being there for all the people for COVID-19. And remember, Chad Gatlin, he's Memphis born, he's Memphis bred, he's a Memphis man till he's dead. He's straightforward. He knows this market. He knows what you need. He can give you anything you need. He won't give you anything you don't. But auto, home, life, renters, business, motorcycle, recreational, umbrella, whatever you can think of, if it has to do with insurance, he is Farmers, and he's your Memphis Farmers agent. MemphisFarmers.com. Now, let's do me a favor, and let's lead this John off.
Wow, I have a feeling I'm gonna save the best for last on this one. We had something come out about The Last Dance last night, but we'll save that for
Oh, you must be talking about that
last.
B-word kid.
Anyways, Big Ben last year was seen saying he would not shave his beard or hair until he throws a pass to one of his teammates. 2 days ago, the Steelers posted a video of him throwing to Juju James Conner, and then at the end, he was sitting in a barber chair getting a haircut, which apparently the state governor, Tom Wolf of Pennsylvania, hated that. I guess the barbershops are not supposed to be open. But Juju at the end said he's back. Does this mean that the Steelers are in the driver's seat for the AFC North, and do you think they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders?
I have to say that I think last year, if you can go after you take out, after the whole situation with Myles Garrett, the ugly part of the season with Mason Rudolph, very ugly part. After that goes in, they bring in Duck Hodges. Do you remember that?
I remember it.
And Duck Hodges leads them, and I don't know if you remember, but the best in-season move was getting Micah Fitzpatrick from Miami. He comes to that Steelers defense. Once they get him, they go on to lead the league in turnovers. He has 8 of their 28 turnovers. He has 2 touchdowns, and Micah Fitzpatrick goes bananas. And Duck Hodges is getting wins. So if Ben Roethlisberger is back to being Ben Roethlisberger, like old Ben, and he's throwing dimes, he's feeling it, well, you know what? I hate to say this, but heck to the yeah, they're actually a contender, because when the hell are they not?
It's a great question. I think absolutely Coach Butler over there always has had a good defensive side of the ball.
Mike Tomlin
they have
play
consistently been good there. The question last year, they went 8-8, by the way. Under the new rules of the NFL, the new collective bargaining agreement, they would have made the playoffs last year as the last wild card team. So this team's on the cusp, but they missed one position last year, and they missed it mightily. I think we know who that was and what position that was.
Yeah, when you got a guy named Duck playing quarterback, it's going to be tough to get a lot of
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or a duck? You had 2 choices
Yeah.
last year. Neither of them were very good.
Nah, they weren't very good.
Now, the Rooney Rule.
And by the way, one quick thing, last thing I'm going to say. AFC North, Cincinnati with Joe Burrow, I don't believe they're ready to compete. Cleveland Browns are loaded, but Baker Mayfield is going the wrong direction. I put Pittsburgh right behind Baltimore. I think Baltimore's the favorite. I think number 2 now is Pittsburgh. 3 is actually Cleveland. And then Cincinnati.
And obviously you wonder if the Ravens
Cincinnati
will
is.
be able to repeat and do exactly what they did last year.
Correct.
So the Steelers are definitely in a good position in the AFC North. Now, the Rooney Rule got expanded yesterday. We sort of mentioned it. While we were on the show, I believe it got expanded. The new rules are they must interview 2 minority candidates for head coach and GM, 1 for all 3 coordinator position, and then they also expanded it to women and minorities in senior front office positions. You have to, for each of those positions, interview a minority or female candidate. It's better than the alternative. I think we got to that yesterday of incentivizing hiring minority candidates, but is this a step in the right direction, or do you think it's going to make no difference?
I think it's a step in the right direction, absolutely, unequivocally. And I think the most important step is what I was talking about. And Booger McFarland, believe it or not, I had to call him a genius today because he was basically saying the same
but
thing. But
they kicked him off. They kicked him off the Monday night booth, man.
He still had
him
a good
and
point.
Tess.
He still had a genius point. I don't know if he was listening to me. I doubt it, but it was still exactly what I said. What did I tell you had to change? You can't have the
tampering rules.
The tampering rules. And they're going to adjust the anti-tampering policy to relax the rules that have denied assistant coaches from moving up. This has prevented them at their height, like when they're popular. Again, you go to the Super Bowl or whatever, you're at the height of height, but you got another 3-year contract. And then that team, everybody goes somewhere else, and 3 years later, that team has got a first pick in the NFL draft because everybody's gone and got overpaid. And now that sexy offensive coordinator ain't so sexy anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that when you are at your height and your value is highest, they're going to give you an opportunity to go talk to other teams instead of saying to just the assistant coaches, which makes no sense. No, you can't talk to anybody. You know what I mean? It's like everybody else can do it, but the coaches couldn't. So now I think they're coming around in the coach's corner, and I actually think this is going to be a very positive step in the right direction.
And I think more than anything, more than like telling teams that they have to interview 2 candidates that are minorities.
Yeah.
I think the anti-tampering thing absolutely makes a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. And I think when you sort of force people to interview candidates, it at least gives the candidate an opportunity to get in front and wow these people that they're interviewing in front of. And I think, you know, in the grand scheme of things, will it help drastically?
Eric Bieniemy.
Will it drastically help? I don't know. But is it a step in the right direction? I think without a question, it's a step in the right direction. I said I would save best for last, John. Now, Horace Grant's comments last night. I know you're a big MJ 90s era of NBA basketball fan.
No, I'm a reality.
Now,
I'm
Horace
Grant.
Horace Grant yesterday called The Last Dance a so-called documentary. He said it's about one person basically, and he has the last word on what's going to be put out there.
BS.
Yes, and I'm getting to it. I'm getting to that. What's going to be put out there, and he said it's not a documentary. He said also he is angry at MJ for saying that he, Horace Grant, leaked the information to Sam Smith. He denies that categorically. He says that's horrible. He said the only reason he's saying that is he has a grudge on him. He said, I'm telling you, it's a grudge. And I think he proved that during this so-called documentary when if you say something about him, he's going to cut you off. He's going to try to destroy your character. Also yesterday, I didn't know if you saw this. We learned yesterday John Stockton, obviously Karl Malone refused to be part of it, but John Stockton said he did not, quote unquote, I do not want to be part of a Michael Jordan puff piece. He said that to Jason Hayhier.
But then he went apart and then he did part of it.
Yeah, he did part of it. The director of The Last Dance, let me ask the question. I want to know, do you think Horace Grant has a point of all this in all this? Or
none.
So he has no reason to be mad.
Can I explain something to you why?
Does he have no reason to be mad?
Will you just listen to me? And then you can actually listen, and I'll tell you why. One, was he not in the damn piece? Did they not show him Michael Jordan saying he was the leak to Sam Smith? No, I didn't see him have a problem. He laughs it off during the piece, does he not? Because he knows he is the one who leaked all that stuff. Now, 35 years later, he wants to talk tough again and challenge, hey, if he wants to man this up, we'll go outside and fight. He sounds like a little B, if you know what I'm saying. He was a little B back then for what he did in dropping that Sam Smith book. And I would like to remind all you people, because this ticks me off. And if you were born in the 90s, you don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. ABC dropped the NBA. The ABA and the NBA were both failed damn leagues before Michael Jordan. And when I say failed, it's not even funny. They were on CBS picked them up out of pity almost. The amount of money they were paying these players, they almost had to get other off-season jobs. They had such a bad reputation in the public, and let's just be real, there were racial tensions back then. The way people looked at it, and I don't give a damn what people think. I'm just going to be honest here. The way people looked at the African-American athlete before Michael Jordan is unequivocally 100% different. And that is 100% owed to Michael Jordan because he changed people's perceptions. period. And that's what drives me crazy. Horace Grant wouldn't be anything. Nobody would know LeBron because the damn league was failing. Do you know this, by the way? Okay, I would like to remind you. One of the greatest winners of all time, Red Auerbach Celtic teams with Mr. Oh, I got how many rings? How many does Russell have? Million, like 10, 9?
11.
11. I mean, it's ridiculous. But he played against Wilt Chamberlain. Did that do anything for the league, really? Oh, it bumped him up a little bit. Do you remember, again, when Dr. J was over in the ABA? Was it saving the league because Dr. J? Nope, because people weren't watching it. When Wilt scored 100 points, was that game televised? Nope. How many people saw it? Not till later. It was recorded. He put on a piece of paper and wrote 100. The NBA was a joke before Michael Jordan. It was a failed league. It was a failing league. And I pulled this up right here to make sure I wasn't crazy. But yes, 80% of the league was losing money. And when I talk about losing, they were just gorging money in losses. And we're talking about like these teams were going to fold. And amen, yes, Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley and all these guys came into the league. Was MJ the most dominant person? Yes, he was. But I will also like to remind you, when Rudy T got hit, people used to call the NBA the Coke League. Nothing but A, and I'm not talking about association. They wanted, the players wanted nothing but A, you know? That's all they want is cocaine and girls. And that's what I'm talking about, little A. So, I mean, the public perception of the NBA, a league that wanted fighting, and it was on, again, in 82 countries, and before Michael Jordan, it was on tape delay. You could not get ABC. They had him 1 year. After 4 years, they said hell to the no. They didn't have a television contract. David Stern helped them out and got that little bit of money from CBS until Michael came in. But I would like to remind you, the finals played after midnight on tape delay. When you know the Pistons team, when they went, you had to watch the game after midnight. I mean, so for people to sit there and say that, like, Horace Grant wouldn't even be a human being, and this was a piece about Michael Jordan, and so why are you mad? What did you expect? It was Michael Jordan's point of view. It was his perspective, and nobody cared about Horace. We're not doing a documentary on Horace Grant. We didn't do one on Steve Kerr. We didn't do it on Scottie Pippen. We didn't do it on Karl Malone. We didn't do it on Hakeem Olajuwon. It was The Last Dance, and it was about MJ and the Bulls' run. That's what it was about. What did people expect from this? And now they want to act tough and say, yeah, if I see Mike, I'm going to fight Mike and blah, blah, blah. Dude, you need to get on your knees and thank him for the nice house you live in, moron.
Now, it's all well and good. I believe that Michael Jordan did a lot. He did the most of any other basketball player.
Period. In
the NBA, he did the most for the game, without question. But is he without faults? No.
No, he is without
by a lot of accounts, he's kind of an old crotchety guy. And for him to go out and put this all on Horace Grant, I don't know why everybody's so positive that Horace Grant is guilty in this.
No.
I think when you look at the facts of everything, and Horace Grant, by all accounts, is not. A lot of his teammates said he never backed down to Mike. He's not that type of guy. He never liked to do that.
He was in the documentary.
I think
he had an opportunity.
I think
to
without
say
question,
then. Now that it's
he has a reason to be mad. No one likes being called a snitch.
He saw it before it came out.
No one likes being called a snitch.
He saw it before it came out. Why didn't he get crazy and say, I'm not doing the documentary then? Like, he was in. Do you not remember? He was
because he's part of the teams. And he did say that Michael is lying if he's saying that he did it in the documentary.
I went and rewatched it. He just chuckles and was like, oh, man, come on. That wasn't me. Mike's full of it, you know. But it wasn't like, liar, 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 I'm going to fight him now. Come on, man. Again, if he
never said he was going to fight him.
Yes,
Let's
he
be
did.
fair there.
Yes, he did. He said if he wants to. No, he said if he wants to settle this, I got.
If he wants to settle this, we can talk about it.
No, he said we
quote.
can talk about this.
And if he doesn't want to do that,
if he doesn't want to do that, we can settle this like men. What the hell does that mean?
Is that the exact quote? Because I remember him saying he wanted to talk about it. All I'm trying to say, man, is no one wants to be called a snitch. I see where Horace is angry, and I understand his anger.
And he's going,
and the fact that it's out there in the public light, and he has to take the blame for Sam Smith writing this book.
Nobody like we. No, the
what
only
do you mean
reason,
nobody?
The only reason people were talking about it is because Horace took it personal. Like everybody was like I even saw Ludacris on today, and they asked him about it. He's like, oh, man, I didn't even know any of
If
the
I called you a
was going
snitch
down.
right now, would you take it personal? Yes, you would take it personal. No one wants to be called a snitch. So I understand where Horace is mad, and I understand where this story, I've even said, I think it was one-sided. Obviously, it's pointed straight toward Michael Jordan.
He had the opportunity to answer it in the documentary or say, I didn't want to be a part of it. It's just convenient after the fact. And again, that just shows how his rookie year, the reason after 3 years he was gone and went down to Orlando, the way they swept the Shaq team and beat him, and the way that he, Mike talked about this again. And this is what's funny to me. Mike talked about this back then, and everybody and their grandmother who lived it knows about this because he was pissed when he went to baseball and called him out then. So why are we going through this again 35 years later after he flat out called him out then? Like, that's what I don't get. And they even saw each other on the court. So if he had a problem with him, stop him and beat him and don't get swept, you punk. I mean, he literally called.
They did beat him the year before when he came back in the middle of the season.
Yeah, his first year, yeah, they beat him in that one, but then he went out.
No,
there
but
and
all I'm
swept
saying,
his
look, man,
sorry self.
no one likes being called a snitch, but I want to know what 67129 has to say. Whose side are you on? I know a lot of people are going to be on MJ's side because the documentary was about him. He's telling his truth. But let us know, 67129, whose side are you on in this situation, Horace Grant or Michael Jordan's?
Hit it up, 67129. And again, I would like to remind y'all, again, before we go this, I had it. Oh, here it was. One quick thing. The professional basketball experience, you had the BBA, the NBA, the ABA. You had, I don't know, even if you realize that, 47 and 48, how many teams there were and the amount players were paid. Then you talk about like Lou Alcindor.
Again, I think that's good and well, but that's not the conversation I'm having today. I'm talking about what he said about Horace Grant and if Horace Grant should take it personal and be mad about it.
Well, I just know
I think
that George
unequivocally,
Mikan,
yes.
Bill Russell, Chamberlain, Dr. J, nobody could save the league. Nobody was making any money at this time. The thing was about to go debunked. No matter what the Celtics or the Lakers were even doing back then, people had a horrible feeling about this league, and Michael Jordan changed that, or we would not even be talking about Horace Grant, period, because nobody would give a damn about Horace Grant because he was never going to win anything with himself. But anyway, I think it's hilarious that he wants to come out. And the thing, again, I have a problem with is how many people he has helped. There's a great Jordan commercial that I hope y'all see, and I know you'll see because it's going to be aired a lot. And it even says at the end, it's an Air Jordan 1 commercial, and it says, thank you, Mike. But it does show what the league was back then when George Mikan, and people weren't even watching it, and Wilt Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, and Dr. J, and all these great players that nobody gave a damn about. And this place was going nowhere. And then you had, again, people in the 80s saying that it was a cocaine league. Players only wanted to fight. They only wanted women. They didn't care about anything. It had David Stern came in and helped change the image. And then Michael Jordan was the golden boy. Next thing you know, you had the sneakers, the Gatorade, all that stuff. And everybody and their grandmother wanted to be like Mike. And he changed the way the world looked at basketball. And that is just a fact. Nobody did it before him. Nobody would be here after him, at least in the same light, without him. He realistically saved the game of basketball, in my opinion, and changed the way people look at unfortunately, it's sad. He realistically, because no matter what anybody wants to say, he changed the way people looked at the African-American athlete back then, because no matter how good they were, like, you had just people, and it was just different race relationships. So that's why I always laugh when people say race relationships are worse today. I'm like, dude, wait, did you not live back in, like, the day earlier? No, they're a lot better today. Can they get better? Absolutely. Are they going to get better? I sure as heck believe so. But MJ should get his love, and Horace Grant, shut up. I'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more.
Right here, R&R on Sports. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Don't miss it.
Eat well and stay healthy with Sweetgrass Nextdoor's to-go and delivery service. From shrimp and grits to pork chops to chocolate chip cookies and more, feed your need. Located in the heart of Cooper Young Midtown, Sweetgrass Nextdoor makes for an easy to-go, pickup, and delivers to all of Midtown, most of downtown, and even East Memphis locations. For more information, visit online sweetgrassmemphis.com or call 901-278-0278 to place your order today.
I'm Dr. George Flynn with an update on the skin clinics and COVID-19. We continue to be open for elective medical procedures such as Botox, Scarlet, and Agnes. And we thank you for abiding by our new safety protocols and for your patience with longer than average times for appointments. We're still having reduced appointment times for the safety of our clients and staff. At this time, after consulting with outside medical experts also and following the community guidelines, we believe it best to wait to offer aesthetic services such as brow shaping, waxing, and facials. We look forward to offering these services as soon as possible. The Skin Clinics is currently accepting names for a waiting list that we will use to fill appointment times when we can begin offering these services and these procedures. Call us at 345-7546. That's 345-SKIN to book your medical procedure or to get on the waiting list for aesthetic treatments. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
The last few months have taught us what's important, as well as what needs to change. It's the same for business. Why have multiple software systems when all you need is NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system? NetSuite gives you visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Receive your free guide, 7 actions businesses need to take now, and schedule your free product tour at netsuite.com/herd. That's netsuite.com/herd. Savings accounts at typical banks often have rates starting with 0, but a Marcus by Goldman Sachs high-yield online savings account really helps your money grow. You could earn much more interest with Marcus than with the largest banks, so go to marcus.com to learn more about their high-yield online savings account. Comparison made to the 3 largest U.S. banks measured by total deposits. Rates as of March 4th, 2020, and may vary by state. Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC.
Hey everybody, our friends at All-Star Chevrolet and Olive Branch say congrats to the high school and college class of 2020. And it's a great time to help your grad get a new or pre-owned Chevy. And if you're ready to get that new Suburban, Tahoe, Silverado, Blazer, or even pre-order one of those hot new Corvettes, All-Star Chevrolet and Olive Branch is where you want to be. Because the people at All-Star Chevy make it fun, easy, and safe, whatever makes you comfortable. They'll even bring any All-Star Chevy car, truck, or SUV to you. And you'll pay a lot less than at those city dealers. GM's financing means no payments for 4 months and 0 interest for 84 months. That's on any new Equinox or Silverado. Thousands in cash back with Blazers, Silverados, and more. And everybody at All-Star Chevy has one job: to make sure you get a better deal, have more fun, and in record time. And all sanitized and safe for you. They'll even pick up and deliver for maintenance and service. Remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. It's gotta be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to All-Star Chevrolet today or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if
we don't find the next whiskey bar. Don't worry, man. Luke McCord's going to come on to make sure you're all right. And you know what's going down in the world of college football when the NCAA. We're going to talk about SEC quarterbacks. And I got a question for him, man. It looks like weak sauce. I'm telling you right now, dude. Man, I know we talk about, like, last year it was Tua and who else. We didn't know Joe Burrow was going to be great. But, damn, Kyle Trask is, like number one.
Yeah, so how come I've seen so many – I think we'll ask John Luke about this. But, like, I've seen so many top 5 SEC QB lists in the past week, and none of them have Bo Nix on it.
I know. Is
there a reason for that? Like, am I the only one that John Rice? But is there one reason for that? Like, am I the only one that thinks this way?
That's why we got John Luke, because he's going to explain what's going down in the great state of Mississippi. Plus, he's going to talk about USC. So they're going to play Ole Miss. Interesting stuff going on go on down there. And I'm going to ask him what's going on with the man, Mike Leach himself. But first, let me welcome in John Luke McCord to Sports 56 Happy Hour. John Luke, how is life treating you, good buddy?
Man, look, guys, timing couldn't be better. Couldn't be better to be talking with you guys on Wednesday this week, because last night there was such a return to normalcy here in Egg Bowl land. And look, it's tongue-in-cheek, a little bit tongue-in-cheek here. Look, I thoughts to everybody who's being affected by the virus, and we hope we can get back to normalcy here soon. But in Egg Bowl land, we've got Mississippi State and Ole Miss turning each other in for recruiting violations right now. I just don't know how things can be going more normal. And another thing, Lane Kiffin, I would call Lane Kiffin maybe, and this is not in a negative connotation, just Mr. Secondary Violation. The guy just simply does not worry. He does not worry about secondary violations.
Hey,
if you remember back to his days.
Yep. Did you get a look at his So you've been seeing the Barstool Sports, Big Cat's been doing the Coach Doug's thing. Did you see? So Big Cat switched his dynasty, right? To he took a new job. He took a new job at Tennessee, and Lane Kiffin responds. He says, "Don't stay there for 1 year. They don't like that."
Oh man! And by the way, who can't get behind Mr. Gus Duggerson? I believe the coach that he's created there. But yeah, Lane is he's so opportunistic on Twitter. And he just does a great job hopping in that space and saying what he needs to say. Obviously, you guys mentioned the home and home Ole Miss setup with USC.
Well, that's what's sexy, too. He goes out there and somehow y'all get that. And that's got to have a little bit of something to do with Lane. And you know people, Lane Kiffin to play USC again, like he's going to be turned out to try to get them. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a great matchup. Look, I think Ole Miss fans, it's got to be one of your biggest non-con regular season matchups you've been able to swing since Texas came to Oxford, Matthew McConaughey and company back in the day, and Ada Taylor Grocer. So it's a big deal. Lane has a big involvement there, obviously, you would think. He had the exchange on Twitter with the official USC account as well. So, I mean, he's been all over the place on Twitter, and obviously Ole Miss is, look, wanting to get back to normal, ready to get players on campus, but at least we're getting some Lane Kiffin entertainment lately during COVID for sure.
Now, speaking of Lane, entertainment, Lane getting USC, Lane doing a really good job. You mentioned it feels like things are getting back to normal, recruiting violations. What the heck did they turn in yesterday?
Listen. So Mississippi State, first off, Mike Leach, and again, I don't want to bring this back to the tweet. I don't know that the tweet from Mike Leach is causing a lot of these transfers right now. Obviously, Fabian Lovett came out, the defensive lineman, and him and his father were pretty clear that they weren't necessarily big fans, and he's already committed, though not solidly, to Florida State for his transfer potential, and he'll be a sophomore wherever he winds up. Really talented defensive lineman here out of North Mississippi. And again, he's looking at coming to Ole Miss. He's looking at Tennessee. He's looking at Florida, of course, committed to Florida State. Last night, Mississippi State has rising sophomore and former four-star DB Jerry Jones, another Mississippi guy, announced he's transferring. And seemingly the moment he hopped in the transfer portal last night, he's seen on Instagram Live throwing up the fins up. He posted a picture where he was tagged in his location at Ole Miss, had an Ole Miss shirt on, and John Rice Plumlee's out here subtweeting about it. And so, look, a little bit of transfer drama. One thing to keep in mind, though, Ole Miss did hire a couple of former Mississippi State assistants in Terrell Buckley, who was the DB's coach, Coach Jerry Jones, and also the defensive line coach, Deke Adams, is at Ole Miss now, and he coached Fabian Lovett, recruited into Mississippi State. And so some of those coaching hires are starting to pay off for Lane. I think that's part of it. I think having the adjustment for coaching staffs right now during COVID, everybody's having to adjust. And look, some coaches are having success on
Does
the
he
recruiting
have
trail.
Does he have a leg up because of his social media, like basically prowess and just the fact that he's good at this?
I think so, because you feel connected to him when necessarily you may not have spent the hours on Zoom getting connected to your new coach. You feel like you know what to expect from him, kind of what you see is what you get. On the other hand, what you see is what you get usually with Mike Leach too, but he had the bad tweet. And frankly, again, just from continuing the point, I think Mike Leach's coaching staff during a difficult time to adjust, having a tough time connecting with their current roster.
I was going to say, Lane Kiffin definitely will relate to younger guys a lot better than Mike Leach. And also, Lane Kiffin he doesn't post nooses online. And I didn't think it was overly crazy what he posted. It was about quarantine, but I could see where in the great state of Mississippi that would definitely be, it could be misconstrued in a lot of different ways.
And here's how Fabian Lovett, his dad, pointed out, when they talked to the media after he announced his transfers, look, it's not necessarily about the tweet, but his dad's perception of Mike Leach coming into Mississippi State was that he did and said whatever he wanted to say. And frankly, all they saw from that tweet was confirmation. They weren't recruited to Mississippi State by Mike Leach. And so it wasn't the coach they had connected with. They felt like all that tweet did was affirm what they already thought about Mike Leach's personality. So, I mean, that's one example of how it was taken. It just isn't going to sit well, the imagery, no matter what you flank it with words-wise here in Mississippi. But I do think some of the transfer issues for Mississippi State, which, again, they've lost 3 starters in the last week, including Jones and Lovett, who we've mentioned. Also, last week they lost starting right tackle Stuart Reese. And so, I mean, there's rumors more transfers are coming from that program, and it's not a good time for Mississippi State to have that going on. Meanwhile, Ole Miss is generating some momentum. And frankly, look, you can't mention one Ole Miss or State going down, having negative momentum, without mentioning the other, like having upward momentum. And that's just the dynamic of these two programs. 2 new coaches, a new feel, but the same old dynamic here in this rivalry, recruiting and on the field.
So Friday, SEC's getting together, doing a little vote between all the athletic directors. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a simple majority would let guys get back on June 1st. Is that what it is?
It is. I think there's also an element here to the sort of a triaged approach. I think they're looking at maybe bringing in players in groups and sort of in shifting time. So we might bring in a group of players and then start to bring in more and more as you go. One thing with that, of course, is the topic around the freshmen. What do you do with incoming freshmen here in SEC right now? Because look, those guys, they're not necessarily coming to campus here at this time of year to take the hours they need to be able to be eligible for some of the grants and scholarship funding that they get on their normal scholarship. So you have to figure out, are we going to bring in freshmen as a part of this integrated approach to bring players in? And are we going to give them from the NCAA how does the SEC to take less than the minimum requirement of hours in the summer before their freshman year so that they can
check out my man John Luke real quick, and I'm going to bring out real quick. Check on his phone, make sure we get this right. But this is the important thing, and I want everybody at 67129. And of course, we can talk about this later, but I will bring this up. And it's all about SEC quarterbacks. Now, everybody's looking at next year. I don't know realistically who is going to be the starting quarterback at Ole Miss, but I have a feeling that KJ Costello will be the starting quarterback at Mississippi State. And I have to say, that air raid offense, I understand that he's going to put up some crazy numbers, but KJ Costello, I looked this up. This is not a joke. In the mock draft the other day, they had him as a late first-round pick. You mean he's now going to go to Mississippi State, play in Mike Leach's air raid offense, and now KJ Costello from Stanford is going to be a dead-gum first-round pick? I got to ask John Luke. Is John Luke back? Oh, good. Now we're going to switch up a little bit. John Luke, I have to tell you, we're going to talk about some quarterbacks because I got to ask you this, and it has to do with one of Mississippi State's, and of course, what's going on with Arkansas with Felipe Franks, Kyle Trask, just all kinds of stuff that's out there. But if you look at the rankings of quarterbacks, Jamie Newman, realistically at Georgia, he's young. He's probably the most athletic quarterback that nobody knows about. I think he's going to be pretty good. You got KJ Costello going to Mississippi State. I still think people are a little bit crazy. I watched this guy at Stanford. I don't see what they're talking about, but now they're saying that he's going to lead the SEC in passing and move into the first round as a quarterback in the NFL. And I'm like, damn, I must be high. Kellen Mond at Texas A&M, I think he'll have a good year. He's been playing forever. Kyle Trask at Florida should have a good season. Mac Jones at Alabama, if he holds down. Bo Nix, second year at Auburn, has been a disaster for most quarterbacks that come before him. Felipe Franks went to Arkansas. A lot of people don't know that. And then Terry Wilson at Kentucky. But who's going to start at Ole Miss? Is it John Riles? What's going on? Who's going to be the quarterback at Ole Miss next year?
That is a great question about this time, John. In fact, I think it's a question that every Ole Miss fan is discussing right now. In fact, I think what's really starting to affect that conversation is how close we're getting to the season and how much time our players going to have on campus to prepare. Because, frankly, you look at a guy like Matt Corral, there's a reason he stuck around, hopped out of the transfer portal. He thought he could grow or be better in Lane Kiffin's offense. But the closer we get to the season, I just don't know that that's something Lane's going to design. You have to remember here, John Rice Plumlee played for a guy in Rich Rodriguez, a little bit in the antiquated run spread last year. He was hard-headed in how he wanted to feature Plumlee. Of course, Plumlee had the issues with the passing game, but I just wonder if, as we get closer to the season, with little to no off-season here, if John Rice Plumlee isn't the most comfortable option for that coaching staff. And again, we obviously know he's a dynamic player. In fact, a lot of people outside Ole Miss and the SEC thought more highly of him because of the running numbers. But I wouldn't be surprised if Lane Kiffin's able to, cater an offense to his strength. That's sort of Lane Kiffin's MO as an offensive coordinator.
Yep.
I look, if you asked me a week ago, I'm really leaning towards probably Corral and Tisdale. But at this point, we're getting close to the season, and I think Plumlee probably has the heads up in that race.
Interesting stuff, but I got to know, are people sold down in Egg Bowl land on my man KJ Costello, or am I the only one that is like, what the bleep are people talking about? I turned it on that little show, like late at night when you can't sleep and they're talking about like those two idiots on TV talking about college football, and the little dude with the blonde hair, I can't remember his name right now, but he's like, yeah, KJ Costello down at Mississippi State, I could just see him. I'm like, what? Like, I understand that he's going to be playing in Mike Leach's air raid system, but this is the first time you're implementing this in Starkville. I don't know.
First time he's playing in that
I was going to
system.
say, I don't know if he's, in all honesty, an above-average passer from what I've seen. I believe he's an above-average decision maker, but he has one hell of a long release, in my opinion. Just doesn't look like an NFL quarterback to me. Am I crazy, or is he going to go out there and just tear it up next season and make me look stupid?
Look, I would not be surprised if he does have a good season. I mean, I have no doubt that he is a talented quarterback. I'm not as questioning his talent. I'm with you on the release. I think in college he's serviceable, though, with that. My thing is, look, he's been banged up. He's coming off a serious injury to the knee, and he's a guy that hasn't played in the air raid system. So, again, look, Tommy Stevens seemed like a shoe-in to be a good fit in Starkville last year under Joe Moorhead. So I think some Mississippi State fans are still on the train of prove it to me from a transfer quarterback. That's something Ole Miss is more used to, the transfer market at quarterback. But again, I think some Mississippi State fans, the smart ones, want to see it. But a lot of people are swooped up and excited with the new hire, of course, and they thought Costello was just sort of only adding gas to that fire. So look, a lot of Mississippi State fans are already on that runaway train, so to speak. I think Costello is going to have a good year. I do not think he's a top 4 quarterback in this league coming into the season, if you want to say that. But during the season, I'm not sure he's going to be in that top 4 in this league.
Yeah, what'd you make of Gene Chiswick's top 5 with John Rice Plumlee at 5? Did you hear me talk about, should Bo Nix be involved in a top 5? Or is that jumping the gun? He should be in the conversation
for sure. I think he should be in the conversation. Look, yeah, he wasn't hurting anybody. A lot of teams were not afraid of what he could do to him last year. I think he starts to grow, obviously. He's going to have some speed at that wideout position. I think Bo Nix has to be in the conversation, probably more so than even a guy in Costello, you could say, has proven himself more, just not in the SEC. So I think both of those guys are on the edge. I'll say this.
Kellen Mond, watch out. He has 26 starts under his belt. He's already has in his career 59 total touchdowns passed for 6,979 yards. It's his senior year. He's got a 5-star receiver. If he doesn't go out there and do it this year, he's never going to get it done.
I hear you. Look, the league it's a unique crop with quarterbacks this year. I think it is a little bit weaker too, and I think that's why we see a lot of this Kyle Trask hype. I mean, look, seeing these top 5 quarterback lists, I don't think Plumlee deserves to be in that top 5. I don't think he deserves maybe to be in the top 8. I think, is he a top maybe 20 athlete in this league, playmaker in the league? Probably, but at quarterback, that's a whole different conversation. But again, the league is weak, but just because we have a weak league and we've anointed Kyle Trask near the top, I don't think that makes him a Heisman contender or something like that. I think he's just the best Dan Mullen can do for right now, and that's why you see Felipe Franks at Arkansas.
Great point. John Luke McCord makes them all week long. Go to @JLGrindin on Twitter. Check him out. You know where he's at, don't you? Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal, and he's on with me every single Tuesday usually. But if something happens, I'll move him on to Wednesday because we love rapping with you, John. Hey, be good out there. Make sure you keep us posted. And I'm glad that it's starting to feel like a little bit normal down there. We got violations and everything's getting back to normal. Maybe we'll really have a season.
Maybe so. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all.
That's my man,
Did
John.
you just say violations? Everything seems
back to normal. But we'll be back. Always remember, MemphisFarmers.com. My very good friend, Chad Gatlin, right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Attention doctors, nurses, law enforcement, firefighters, and EMT personnel. Infinity of Memphis wants to show their gratitude for what you've done and for what you do for our community. Right now, you can get your personal vehicle a Mobile Super Synthetic or Mobile One oil and filter change for half price. That's only $32.50 or $49.99 respectively. Infinity of Memphis will also wash your car for free. Visit infinityofmemphis.com now to schedule your service. ID is required.
This is Stacy on her motorcycle.
What an incredible view!
And this is Stacy off her motorcycle.
Does this have sucralose in it?
On her motorcycle.
Oh, the wind in my hair!
Off her motorcycle.
It's pronounced etc., not etc.
On.
Woohoo! Yes!
Off.
No.
You're better on your bike. And with basic policy starting at $75 a year, quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I buy houses.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
You know it, I am your pusher, man. But I will tell you something. I love listening to y'all. And I love also that y'all hit me up at 67129. That's 67129. And we got text galore. And we got some very good ones and some very, very funny ones. And we're going to get to those. And plus, some people have inundated my phone. And yes, Serena, you are correct. Yeah, I'm a baby, I know. Don't worry. But I love all y'all. Keep these things a coming. Don't forget Sports 56 Happy Hour. We got you with Johnny Radio, Gabe Kuhn, and we are ready to rock and fire. First and foremost, the text question was, is Horace Grant a B word?
No, that is absolutely not. Whose side are you on, Horace Grant's or MJ's? I do not think Horace Grant is a B word, as John so eloquently put it. Now, one person comes in, he says, don't forget about Larry Bird. He changed the game as well. You were talking about how MJ changed the game. Also, somebody says, MJ is a liar whose fans give him a pass. Comments? Concerns? Anything over there?
I mean, what is he a liar about? I mean, so the flu game, I don't understand why he brought that out. Pizza
That
thing.
seems like a lie to
He
me.
still said that could be a lie, but did he win in 6 damn titles? Did he ever go to a Game 7? Was he the ultimate winner? Did he dominate the Dream Team? Did he go out there and beat Magic and all the Dream Team people and show who the alpha dog was? Is there a question that he saved the sport? I had somebody, Larry Bird, he did a lot for the sport. Again, when Larry Bird was the king and Magic Johnson, you had them still on delay. Like, what is it that people don't get? And you have to forget, Rudy T, when Kermit got knocked the bleep out, is that how it was? Like, one of them, there was a huge hit where dude gets just knocked the bleep out. And, like, people went crazy. Basketball ratings went down. ABC did not renew their contract. I had all the numbers written up. And the amount that the people here, like, they paid. I mean, think about this. Wages in the 60s? Are you kidding me? The top wage in the 60s, $250,000. Back in the 90s when MJ started out, the top player, 1.5. And then they were going broke. And I'm talking about the owners. They were on tape delay. Again, ABC said, nope, not doing it. And they pushed really, really hard. But they lost so much money. And you have to remember, the ABA in 1967, you have New York, Pittsburgh, Indiana. They merged with the NBA to save each other because they were going what? Bankrupt. And again, this is when Dr. J and Wilt and all these people are in there, these great players that everybody talks about, these wonderful 60s, 70s, these 80s eras, unbelievable basketball. But why was it going bankrupt? Like, people want to act like that wasn't happening.
Now, also, somebody chimes in, 67129, says, nobody has gotten more people paid than LeBron. Jordan couldn't even get Pippen paid.
All right. You can look it up. Nobody's made more money or saved a league. Like, I mean, you go from 82 countries to 225 just from 1991 to 1998. Think about that. The average salary increased 300%. Michael Jordan, you got guys like Solomon Hill who get a $40 million contract. You think that that's not because of Michael Jordan? Really? That is so funny to me. Everybody in the world wanted to be like Mike. If you didn't live it, that's fine. If you don't remember how the 80s were, if you don't remember the 70s, if you don't remember the perception of basketball, it was not in any way a global sport the way it is today. Bill's called in. What's up, Bill?
What's up, man? Yeah,
Hey,
Rudy
brother.
T, Kermit Max.
Thank you.
Destroyed Rudy T's jaw. There was a fight. Rudy T came running in. Who knows? Kermit didn't know what was going on. Just turned around and hit him. They villainized him forever. Whatever. That you're right. The league was nothing. People people aren't old enough, obviously, the ones that talk about this. I watched my Celtics on tape delay in the NBA championship at 11 o'clock at night. Are you kidding me? There was one game a week. You didn't see the game on Sunday.
Nope.
You would never see a game again.
Yep.
CBS had the contract. Michael Jordan, all right, Bird, I'm a diehard Celtics fan. Bird and Magic gave the league some juice to stay afloat, but it was because it was a West Coast, East Coast battle like the old guys. That's what they tried to sell, but it still was nothing. It was still tape delay. And then what? Michael came and David Stern together, and Michael took responsibility to not be a bad guy, to be a good guy, to always fight to the end, be that guy who didn't settle for second place no matter what. And they sold him. They sold him worldwide, globally. You're right. All of a sudden, everybody made ridiculous money. Basketball started leagues overseas that guys, third-rate players were getting contracts in Germany and Israel. China had a basketball league? Are you kidding me? I mean, it's ridiculous. Michael Jordan made everybody money. Horace Grant needs to just shut up. He shouldn't have talked to Stan Smith in the first place.
He sure as hell shouldn't have. Good job, Bill. That's probably the exact call that I wanted, and that's just honestly the God's awful truth. If you don't remember it, you people who are old enough to remember and you loved your Celtics or you love the Lakers, you're very few because people didn't like basketball back then. Michael Jordan, no matter what you say, it is a sad statement that I got to make this. But the way people looked at the African-American athlete, unfortunately, it's disgusting. It really is. The 60s happened, man. You know, remember what Martin Luther King was fighting for? And you think it just all ended at one night? We still have problems today. But Michael Jordan changed literally the global perception. And that literally should be a thank you, not a Horace Grant acting like a little baby. You had the opportunity to say your piece in the video. They showed you what Mike said and called you a snitch, and you just laughed it off. And then after the thing, you want to get mad. Again, you had your opportunity. Don't do it 35 years later, and then to challenge him to a fight makes you look like the biggest oosepay I've ever seen in my life. Come on, I want to vomit. Horace Grant, go put your ugly glasses on and shut up. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. We're going to have some fun because we are going to talk about the National Football League, what is going on, and all kinds of other things. And Gabe Kuhn, he's going to jump in here, and we're going to talk about this and the craziest court case in maybe human history. I mean, OJ's was pretty crazy, but we might not even get to a court case with Dunbar and them. I mean, this has just gotten out of hand. We'll talk more about that on the other side. Whatever you do, always remember, MemphisFarmers.com. My good friend Chad Gatlin. I love him, you love him, and he's got your back. We are farmers. Sports 56, 96.1, and of course, 87.7 FM.
I'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselimbembrace.com.
Dedicated our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
With everything going on, you're probably worrying more than ever, wondering what's going to happen next. Your mind can run circles. It's time to relax. New from the guys at M-Drive. M-Drive Relax, a powerful supplement designed to help relieve stress, help you sleep better, and support a healthy immune system. M-Drive Relax is meant to be taken in the evenings to help you wind down and, well, relax. Packed with powerful adaptogens to help ease your mind and support a strong body. Check it out at mdriverelax.com. Also, the guys at mDrive know it's a tough time. They want to help. Limited time. They're offering mDrive Relax for 50% off. Check it out. mdriverelax.com. They made it easy. There's no coupon code. Just go to mdriverelax.com. 50% off. No obligations, no strings attached. Try mDrive Relax for 50% off while supplies last. If you find yourself stressing, try mDrive Relax.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me Saturdays 8 to 9 a.m. for Sidelines here on Sports 56 WHBQ, 87.7 FM and 96.1. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, and your favorite team. Give us a call. That's Sidelines, Saturday mornings 8 to 9 a.m. Sidelines is presented by Duncan Williams Asset Management. So get up and give us a call.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen, and now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo, 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 and I just got to come back on Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio and again and just say one simple thing. In life, let's just say, like, if Princess Diana didn't marry the prince, would anybody know Princess Diana? We know that about her death and Dodi Fayed, but again, if she didn't get married to a prince, would we be talking and following around Princess Diana her whole life? Heck to the nizzo. Horace Grant, if he wasn't on those MJ teams, we wouldn't even know his bifocal name. We'd be like that dude in the ugly glasses who was annoying and thought he was better than he was. That's all Horace Grant is. And again, this for me is such revisionist history. That's why I laugh about it. This documentary was about Michael Jordan. Nobody has heard from Michael Jordan forever and talked about his own piece. We wanted to hear from Michael Jordan. He participated in the documentary. He was showed the video where Michael Jordan said he's the snitch. He just kind of put it down like, whatever. And then afterwards, and everybody watches it, then he wants to come out and talk like this tough guy, call Mike a hypocrite. Why'd you have to bring up about the league with women and cocaine? Because, again, the reason that he didn't say the names of the players, even though we can figure it out. But, again, the league was called the National Basketball of A, and it wasn't association. People was talked about they did more blow than they played on the court. They fought more than they shot. You know, it was crazy. And by the way, there was a free throw issue early 50s, and now there's a free throw issue again. It's kind of funny how history goes back and forth. But without Michael, it's very simple. You never even speak of Horace because there is no more basketball. The Major League Baseball was so much ahead. Hockey was ahead. Basketball was the fourth sport in this country, barely. And it was hanging on by a thread, and it was almost bankrupt.
So moving on to a little bit of modern-day NBA. Shams has reported that Orlando's Disney World is the clear frontrunner for a return-to-play site for resuming the 1920 season.
No way.
And also, some sources, according to Keith Smith, from Walt Disney World have said, we are confident we'll be hosting the NBA in some fashion. It may not be the entire league, but we believe the NBA will be here to at least finish part of their season. Still hurdles to cross, but we are preparing as if that is the case.
Now, we've been we've been living in a world of hope, it feels like, and some of that hope seems like it's starting to break our way. Guys who care about sports, looks like we might even get these. Great news. Thank you. Thank you, Gabe. By the way, where is that? Is that in Florida? The Disney the location?
The Orlando location.
That's the Orlando
yes.
location.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. That's a big bad location. That would make sense.
The other one is out in California, right?
Yeah, the Disneyland is out in California.
Yeah.
So
I could see where they would probably resume pro sports a little quicker in Florida.
Yeah, that's
than
why
California.
I was just making sure because, Devin Newsom, I know he's I'm down with pro sports, but I didn't know if he was that down. So now. I also want to talk about, we've talked about Horace Grant and MJ talking trash. I love trash talking, and right now Michael Thomas and Devontae Parker have been talking some seriously good trash. Hands down.
What was there was a poll, right? It was a poll that Stephon. It was Stephon Gilmore. Which is harder to do? Catch a ball on Stephon Gilmore or break up a pass from Michael Thomas,
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
And Devontae Parker said Stephon Gilmore.
Correct.
And Michael Thomas is known to get in a couple Twitter
tirades. He went Michael
tirades.
Jordan, let's just be real. He does the same thing.
He doesn't take disrespect
He uses slights just like MJ to get an edge. I mean, this is a guy who has been on Twitter and had beef with it was Josh Norman last year, remember that? Him and Josh Norman were going at each other on Twitter like it was nobody's business. And now, because Stephen Gilmore, which is harder to break up a pass, Michael Thomas is catching, or to catch a pass on Stephen Gilmore. Parker went catch a pass on Stephen Gilmore. It made sense since Gilmore did shut Parker down, and Parker had his best season last year. But the smack talk from Thomas that he dropped on my buddy Parker.
He did not mince any. He went after Devontae Parker.
Yes, it was so mean that I honestly wanted to give Parker a hug.
He said it took you 6 years and 17 games to have a good game, bro.
Yeah,
Shut
he said
the
it
hell
took.
up.
Yeah, and then he's like first rounder, at the end, shut up. I mean, he dropped what I call the absolute Mike Tyson punch out, knockout blow.
Here's my question. Did it even?
I love
here's
the part,
one thing.
You can't even get a seat at the table, home.
Yeah, was it even? Here's my question though.
It wasn't a slight.
Was it even necessary for Michael Thomas to go in like that? That's the one thing I noticed.
Michael Jordan though in basketball using a slight, and then the reason I'm bringing it up is because Michael Thomas. Let's be real. Parker didn't slight Thomas. Parker did, but boy, my man, Michael Thomas is using it as fuel to his fire. He says next year. I mean, he is fired up.
Stephon Gilmore is the best corner in the game.
Yeah,
it's,
I know.
it's not that big a deal to lose to Stephon Gilmore every once in a while. But damn, Michael Thomas went in.
He went in hard on that dude. Hey, first rounder, took you 6 years to have a good year. Dude, it was cold blooded. And the reason I bring this up is because I want to know, today, we celebrate a trash talk. I mean, do you remember Fred Smoot back in the day? Do you do remember him at Mississippi State, and then when he made it to the league? He might not have been the greatest cornerback, but he was one of the best trash talkers I've ever seen on the field. Norman was a great trash talker. Larry Bird, when he played with the Celtics, an unbelievable trash talker. Scottie Pippen, I think, dropped the greatest line. Mail ain't delivered on Sunday to Karl Malone when he had those 2 free throws. There's just some dudes who have dropped some good lines, but I have a question, and I just want to know. In this day and age, Chad Ochocinco, he used his Twitter, and he has gotten spats, and he's used social media good and bad. But I'm just kind of wondering, with social media, the way players go at each other, it always seems kind of playful until it goes a little bit too far. But we give all these guys on social media, if you've not noticed, a huge pass when they talk some crazy smack to each other.
Yeah, because I think we like the entertainment value of it. like Michael Thomas, there was no reason for him to go in on Devontae Parker, but
to call somebody a snitch.
But look,
look how Horace Grant
but look,
is taking it.
look what we're doing. We're eating our popcorn and standing by while we just watch them do it. Like it's the entertainment value that does the whole thing. Like without trash talk, some of the, especially with the NBA, I think some of the on-court stuff wouldn't have as much value. And maybe
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Listen, hey, there's nothing the reason they pump up a fight is to get you interested.
Like when Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid got into it, the Sixers and the Timberwolves early in the season this year, like everyone wanted to see that game again. Like that's the first thing everybody was talking about. I want to see this game come the end of the season. So like all this smack talk, all this back and forth adds to the on-court, on-field drama, so to speak.
I love it. I love it. Now, we have to also get back into a little bit of football. And before I get to the craziness of Dunbar and all this stuff that's going on in the league, I want to ask Gabe Kuhn right now, if you look at the 2020 NFL season, which every single day we're going to probably see MLB, we're here in the NBA, they're starting to look at a place. They're going to have the first crack. Looks like the NCAA is going to get people together actually first. So that's, the NFL, who's already got testing sites set up, talking about doing like 10,000 a week, et cetera, looks like they're going to do it. They're on point. So when you look at the season and you think about it and you look at all 32 teams, why is it to me that everybody and their grandmother, listen, don't get me wrong, I am all over. I think Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay is a heck of an addition. Congratulations. Bringing back, though, Gronkowski, adding a rookie, tackle and Tristan Wirfs, it's going to maybe help them, but is that automatically going to turn this team into a Super Bowl contender? Like, are they now better than San Francisco, in your opinion, or the Saints or the Atlanta Falcons maybe even? Just, are they head and shoulders the best team in the NFC?
No, not even close. No. They're close. They're up there. They're a top 4 or 5 team in the NFC, but I think you and I both know that Tom Brady is older. And going in, especially in a short off season that they're going to have, it's going to be tough for him to get on the same page with those guys from day one. So I don't really see where people get that from. I thought they had a good defense last year. Shaq Barrett was one of their outside linebacker DN type guy, had 19.5 sacks, led the league last year. They have a good defense, but last year they were just put in bad positions because of Jameis Winston's interceptions. I think they're a damn good team. They have a chance to win their division. They're going to have to get through the Saints, though. And that's the biggest hurdle.
I think the Falcons are going to be better than people. I think they're going to be
really?
a hard team.
But every year we say that, right?
Well, it was just a few years they were, in the Super Bowl playing Tom, and I'm just saying it's just like this is the team. They're up and down. They'll be on the peak, and then a couple years they're down in that valley, and then they'll come out of nowhere. And Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are still old. You bring in, Coop. We're going to see how he does. Then you actually add Todd Gurley. I don't know if he's going to be able to get back to the Todd Gurley form that we saw, but he's back down in Atlanta. He's in Georgia at home. Who knows? Maybe that will help. But their defense, if it can get back to being a great defense, it could still give them a little bit of fight. I'm just saying.
Their defense was so bad last year, the Falcons.
It was so bad. But then also like the Bears, I know people are going to laugh when I say this, but getting Nick Foles, that defense is so damn good. If you just have a quarterback can put a couple points on the board without turning it over, just a few points on the board with that defense. The Bears are just dope.
And are the Rams going to resurge this year?
And the Rams, could they bounce back again?
I think the Bucs fit into a category with a lot of NFC teams.
I just see, you're right.
And people talked about the Gronk thing being this big, profound move, and it was for the shock value, yes. But they already have so many weapons. Is Gronk really going to add all that much to it? Yeah, it's another guy that you have to guard and think about. But they already had O.J. Howard. They already had Cameron Brate, 2 good tight ends. So I am with you in the boat of not doubting what the Bucs can do, but doubting that they're a legitimate, immediate, off-top Super Bowl contender just by getting Tom Brady and Gronk.
Correct. And I still think that, again, you have, San Francisco is great, I think, in my opinion. Couldn't the Rams bounce back? And we never, ever can count out Seattle. They had that dude, Russell Wilson, who's just a bad man. And DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett looked like there were some pretty good weapons with him. And
you know who
they
else
added
they got?
Philip Dorsett.
Yeah, Philip Dorsett.
Yeah, so,
did you see him the other day talk about the Pats?
But they also added Quentin Dunbar.
Did you see Philip Dorsett talk about the Pats the other day?
No.
He's yet another person saying that
Dude.
it's all business and that he didn't have all that much fun.
Yeah.
Like, this happens a lot. It's starting to happen a lot more.
Yeah, it is. Do you think Jadeveon Clowney, what the hell is he going to do?
Do you have a guess?
I don't. I don't either.
I have no idea.
I don't
Because
think
that
he's gonna
price
get
tag
$23
for a
million.
lot of people, the price tag's too much. They don't
Yeah.
want to pay him $20 million a year.
Nope. I do not think so. I do not think so. I do not think so. And by the way, didn't Seattle got Greg Olsen? Or did they get Greg Olsen? Or am I on drugs?
I think so. I believe, yeah.
Yeah, they did get him, didn't they? Yeah,
Let me
I think
check.
so.
Let
That'd
me
be
check
dope.
one more time.
If you get Greg, if you can add
Yeah.
Greg Olsen
He just
with
got
Lockett
added.
and Metcalf, that's kind of nice for Russell Wilson, yo. You know what I'm saying? That could be a nice
Russell
little-
Wilson has not, like, when Doug Baldwin retired, it was like, who the hell is he going to throw to? And Doug Baldwin, like, where was he even from? Like, I feel like a lot of guys that play with Russell Wilson are made by Russell Wilson.
Now, by the way, I haven't even mentioned this much, and we don't talk a whole lot of Titans on here, but I did want to ask you, what the hell? How do you lose Conklin and Logan Ryan after you have such a good year? Like, wouldn't you have thought that they were important pieces to get back? Were they too expensive? What do you think about the fact that they let Jack and Logan go?
Jack Conklin, it is
Overrated?
What it is. Yeah, no.
What about
I'm not
Logan
saying
Ryan?
that. It is what it is. Logan Ryan said they didn't even like pursue him at all.
That's
They just
crazy.
let him walk without even saying words to him, which I found interesting. But I guess when you're in their position, you just paid Tannehill what you paid him. Like you got to cut some corners eventually.
Well, they got the former All-Pro Dennis Kelly. He's going to fight with Isaiah Wilson, one of their first-round picks. That'll be interesting to see what happens there. Derrick Henry, though, he's just a beast. Let's just be real. Will he be the same next year? I think actually the fact that he's on the franchise tag and he'll be a free agent and he can go get paid again next year. Do you not think next year you're going to see him the most hungry you've ever seen Derrick Henry?
I want to see what happens. Like, I feel bad that he hasn't gotten paid at all, though.
I think next year Derrick
But
Henry
I understand,
goes
though. I
beast.
understand why people are like hesitant.
Yeah, I think he
It's
goes
too many-
absolutely crazy.
Too many carries.
It is.
On
It
one
is.
body.
It's going to be absolutely nasty. Now, one thing that is very, very, very real. I don't know if I got you to ask you this, but now we talked about Dunbar a little bit, but now I have to get into this real quick, and I got to ask you: have you ever seen anything as crazy as the Quentin Dunbar? How is it that you go, if you're an attorney, from this isn't a lock, we got these guys locked up, we got like their cars parked here and all this evidence, and you're going to arrest them, to where like now the lawyers are like, one dude said he's like at home playing Madden, and they got him like playing Madden night, and now all the people are recanting their stuff, but then you hear stuff about like, dice that were fixed, and like this whole thing has got me so confused, like, I don't even know what to think.
This reminds me of when a victim turns out not to be as much of a victim as you thought he was in the first place. Like when somebody says they've been robbed, they stole all this money from me, and then they realize after the fact, they stole my drugs. I can't.
DeAndre Baker and Quentin.
I can't actually. And because you look at you look at what happened, and like. There's been more reports about how they had loaded dice and they were trying to steal money from Dunbar and
waited an hour and a half to call.
Waited an hour and a half to call, and they all recanted their statement. So I think this is one of those cases where the victims are not as big of victims,
dude,
as they thought in the first place.
I think you're exactly right, and I think the funny thing is the victims have already recanted against Dunbar, and Dunbar's lawyers come out and basically was like, I'm so comfortable going to these victims and getting them to sign papers because they've already They're already waffling and making up stories and blah, blah, blah. The arrest warrant said that Baker pulled out a semi-automatic firearm directed by Dunbar and the masked man to take the money and the Valiums, blah, blah, blah. Their lawyer has come out and said that he was on Madden during the alleged robbery, and they can show where he was playing Madden. Now, somebody could be using his handle. Is that what it's called? Like a Twitter handle?
Yeah, it's fine. We'll accept that.
But it's
gamer
just
tag.
Gamer tag. But then the best part, though, is like the fact that they're like Dunbar, Baker, and then another alleged man left in a Mercedes, a BMW, and a Lamborghini. They described these cars and had their license plate and who they were
and
like.
The third man was like the red mask man.
Yeah, and who's this?
Who the hell is the red mask man? I love you watch some of the shows like they're trying to bring a legal analyst to talk about like what's going on, and they're all like, I have no idea what in the hell is going on. I have a lot of questions.
Oh, all I can tell you,
because this was a closed case on Monday, and by Wednesday, it's like, how the hell are these guys going to even get charged?
Dude, Dunbar was, by the way, doing that interview. I don't know if you saw that about how happy he was to be traded to Seattle and what he's going to bring to him per Pro Football Talk the day the warrant was issued for him. So that was pretty interesting. But I love this. This is one of my favorite things. The lawyer says, I can't speak what the hell happened over at that house, but I can tell you one thing. Mr. Dunbar wasn't there at the time. And it's just like, lawyers don't come out and say that. And then this other lawyer comes out and says, I'll tell them one thing. If I were them, don't go forward because this will be embarrassing for your career. You don't hear lawyers say things like that to prosecuting attorneys unless they got something in the bag that is just so like what do they got? Like, what could they possibly have? Like, what happened that night? Like, give me your best guess. So, do you think they lost a lot of money in reality gambling? Do you think that happened?
I think they lost money. Actually, I don't even want to guess anymore.
It's that hard.
Because, like, on Monday, I thought this was an open and shut case. These guys are getting charged and probably going to face a little bit of jail time. And now it's like, I have no idea if there's a chance that they end up convicted with what they're charged of.
The Miramar, what is it? The prosecuting attorney came out and said, what's his name, Mr. Dunbar and Baker and stuff are looking at a minimum of 15 years. You know what I mean? Unless they want to come to us and strike a deal. Like he was talking like he was the big dog. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, nope, you're not the big dog. Everybody else is dropping things, and I'll tell you what I am. I'm so confused that I don't think Jack McCoy could fix this bad boy. In fact, Dick Wolf, I hope you're watching this. I'm ready to see this on a Law and Order later on this year. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back in just a minute. I always want to remind y'all some important things like, 901-406-1101. Anybody out there, you could be like, life's about peaks and valleys. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. It's how you deal with those valleys to get back on top of those peaks. If you're struggling because of COVID-19 to pay your rent, if you need to move, if you need to do something, or if you own a few houses and they're not paying their rent and you're just tired of it, man, I know that can happen as well. Trust me. Call 901-406-1101. You call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house. Literally, it's that simple. 901-406-1101. Call my buddy at Bill at I Buy Houses. 5 days he will close. That's right. 5 days you'll have your money. All those, anything that you stressed about, it's over. And if your house has been on the market for months, why? All you have to do is call that number, 901-406-1101. Bing, bang, boom. Like I said, I just sold your house. Give my buddy Bill a call at I Buy Houses now. When we come back, I'm going to take you to my favorite place in the whole wide world. That's Hardwood on Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and C.J. Hurts. Weekdays from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
Oh, hi. Okay, guess we should talk about something. Kind of tough to be put on the spot. Not sure what to say. But I know what I'm definitely not talking about. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Okay, you won't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with their Memorial Day sale happening May 22nd through the 25th. All Nike golf shoes are 25% off. Score an epic deal on Callaway's Epic Flash Driver, now only $349. Save big with the G400 driver, now only $249. Remember, the more you buy, the more you save, and receive up to 25% off all apparel. Edwin Watts Golf Shops Memorial Day sale happening May 22nd and May 25th. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee, serving golfers since 1968.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129.
Hi, I'm Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Five-Ash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Five-Ash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. It's Johnny Radio, and y'all know I love you. Gabe Coon's in the house. I know he cares about all of y'all, and I got to tell all of y'all, I do. I know I might get a little bit excited, speaking maybe a little hyperbole a little bit, take things a little far sometimes, but I like to do that because I like to be funny and exaggerate a little bit to make my point. But I will tell y'all are killing me on the text line. My phone is absolutely funny, and then don't forget Twitter. At Johnny_radio and at G_Coon71. That's Kuhn. Check us out because me and G are going to rap. Now, we're about to go in and do my favorite segment of the day. But right before I jump into that, I did want to remind y'all that COVID-19 is something that's real. We are getting like great news. And when I say great news, I'm talking about people realistically are talking about second stages in vaccines. They've now also found a way, if you do get COVID-19, to turn off your immune system a little bit if it starts attacking your own body. There's all kinds of different things that are going on, but this convalescent plasma is one of the big ones, and it seems like it's a game changer. And at Plasma Biologics, they are begging you to please, if you have recovered from coronavirus, please do me a favor. They need your plasma. You can give it like every 11 days. Plus, they pay you. But you have to call 1-866. That's 1-866-NCV19. That's ENDCV19. That's 1-866 in CV19. It is so important. And plus, even if you haven't recovered from the coronavirus, but you're a healthy person, they need your plasma as well. And they, again, are paying you. Anybody right now who is healthy, call 866-NCV19. Give that plasma. Get some compensation for your time. I promise you, all donors are going to be compensated for their time. But the biggest donation is the lives that you could be saving. And again, they need this. It is so crucial. Please help. We're all in this together. Biological Services. Check them out. That's Plasma Biological Services. 1-866-END-CV19. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Before we get into a bulk of the stories, a little bit of breaking news out of the NCAA front. Pete Thamel has just reported, not but 4 minutes ago, the NCAA Division I Council has voted to approve voluntary athletic activities in football, men's basketball, women's basketball to start June 1st and go through June 30th.
Wow.
There had been, obviously, the moratorium through May 31st. They're obviously going to talk about the other sports at a later date.
Now, you know what that means. Ball in your court, your leagues and your divisions, and see what's all going to happen for the conferences and what people are going to do. Now, this is something that is really kind of sad before I get going on, and I didn't know him very well, but our friend Dustin Starr, friend of the program, everybody knows Dustin Starr. There's this big old wrestler. I'm not a WWE superstar. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Shad Gaspard.
You know exactly.
Yes, last night at about 1:20 a.m. on Venice Beach, where he was the day before swimming with his 10-year-old son. They found his body. He was pronounced dead on the scene. He had gotten taken out by a rip current the day before. Shad Gaspard passed away. And they found his body this morning. Rest in peace to Shad Gaspard.
Yeah, rest in peace. It's Dustin Starr. Thoughts and prayers are with you.
He was only 39.
He's only 39 years old, but he saved his son. That's
yeah,
like the thing
story
that
of it is, but the story of it's just so sad. It
is
such a meaningful sort of thing to do with your son. Go swimming with him in the ocean, and
he loved
something
the
like
beach.
that, and tragedy strikes. It just shows that you never know what can happen.
All right, now, I'm going to get off the sadness, but I am going to talk about somebody who had like an insane body, just like my man did, because he was a big, huge hunk of a man. And now there's a Mike Tyson video out right now with a huge gray beard. But my homie, he might be over 50, but he has a six-pack. Like, I didn't know you could be like over 50 and have a six-pack. He's 53 years old, and he looks like he's jacked out of control. Now, we watched an old George Foreman fight back in the day because you could just hit him in his head and he could just keep coming forward. And I'm telling you, even when he was old, he still hit so damn hard. Like, George Foreman might have been like just the hardest, meanest son of a gun. Again, if Ali didn't sit there and rope-a-dope him, George Foreman, who knows what we'd be talking about him. George was the bomb. But would you pay to see Mike Tyson fight right now?
110%.
Me too.
If it was $65, I am paying the $65. I don't care who he. Here's the thing, and he had the most badass quote too. You remember the quote I read? It was like last week.
Which
said,
one?
"The gods of war have ignited my fire again."
Yes, he has some great ones.
I'm just saying, man. I would pay full price for a Mike Tyson fight. No
I'm
question.
down. I want to see it. I want to see it bad. In fact, I almost want to see him.
Who would
fight
you want
the
to see
gym
him fight?
teacher. I want to see him fight Andy Ruiz, the gym teacher, the guy who looks just like the gym teachers, because I think that would be great because he was a heavyweight champion, not long ago. But if he got knocked out by Mike Tyson, oh, that would be hilarious. But you know what? It might be even more fun. Who's the biggest poser boxer on planet Earth that Ruiz knocked out? He looks great, like in his shorts.
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. Now, that might just end Anthony Joshua's career, though. You just got knocked out by a 53-year-old man, dude. It's over, Joshua. Hang it up. See, I think that could kill Joshua's career. Where Andy Ruiz...
Mike Tyson fought Lennox Lewis, right?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Did he beat him?
Oh,
or
no,
Lennox
no,
beat him?
No, Lennox beat him.
I'd say Lennox, I mean, like, a lot of people talk about Anthony Joshua. That's sort of the reincarnation of Lennox Lewis.
It's a good
and
point.
a fighter. Like,
good
because
point.
he is from the UK and all that. So
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I just boxing after Mike Tyson has never really been the same, and I would love for it to get back. And again, I would just pay to see it. It would be really, really cool. Now, a lot of weird stuff has gone on in the world. We talked about. We got stuff that's breaking in the NCAA. You got people who are wanting sports to come back. These things are all great. I'm stoked, and I am absolutely fired up. I want to ask you, though, right now, I am fearful, and I'm being serious when I say this. The positive is coming out of the NFL. The positive is coming out of the NBA. The positive right now, realistically, should be coming like out of MLB, and they should be getting ready to play some baseball, blah, blah, blah. But right now, everything that's coming out of the MLB world seems to me being so negative. Like, the MLB has hurt itself time in and time, like they've done it year after year. I mean, they were the America's pastime, and because of their selfishness, they are where they are at today.
Well, I think the difference is between a lot of these other leagues and the MLB is the MLB Players Association is like tough. They don't take deals. You know what I mean? They don't try to help out the owners. They try to get exactly what they need when they need it. Whereas, like, you look at the NFL Players Association gives in every time they are faced with anything. Like, any collective bargaining agreement, they give in. So I think the MLB players are a lot tougher in that. But I saw Tom Glavine today talk about how this is similar to the 94-95 stoppage because the players are going to end up looking like the bad guy if they don't end up playing a season.
Well, and this is where it's like both guys could look like the bad guy. A lot of guys could look like the bad guy. I don't know how much you've heard about this. Buster Only's reporting this. Craig Calcaterra. They're talking about this MLB lawyer who's come out and said he's got the smoking gun. He's leaking evidence to the Post. And it's basically, it's all in technical when it comes to these contracts, about 50-50 revenue split, or they've already, prorated contracts through 82 games, et cetera, et cetera. This is a messy negotiation that I think just got messier. They just added another curveball into the mix. And while there's positive news coming out of every sport, the only one who can't get their act together and are talking about ending up in court is the MLB. And I don't get it. Like, do y'all not understand that y'all are cutting off your nose to spite your face? You know what I'm saying? Do they not understand this? 36 million people are unemployed, yo. Come on, dude. Don't do this, or I'm telling you, MLB, this ain't going to come back. It's going to come back bad is what I mean.
I think it's a situation where they ought to just take the proposal they have and just rip it up and say,
"Yup,
hey, let's just stop.
All over.
We're done.
Start all over."
Well, does this mean come back next year?
You know
just
what?
Start all over on the proposal?
I say you start all over on the proposal, or MLB just goes out and sticks with the proposal they dropped in March. You know what I mean?
Prorated salaries.
The prorated salaries. Why you come back and ask them to take another haircut? Again, when the owners went, like, the price of their organization went from $400 million to $2 billion, the players didn't get any extra money, did they? They didn't say, hey, you know what? You need to give us a little prorated salary, homie. No, anyway, I don't want to hear about it. That's why this is collectively bargained. Again, this should not happen.
The other thing that angers me is every day there's another figure about how much the MLB owners stand to lose. And I'm like, I don't care about the money right now.
Dude, these billionaires, they're billionaires. Everybody is hurting, and billionaires are like, oh, we're going to lose a couple million. But again, we got $0.4 billion. And the funniest thing is when a guy who has a $1.6 billion worth comes to MLB's defense, you just want to shut up, dude. Billionaires coming to the defense of other billionaires is just a bad look. Now, Chad Johnson. This is a guy who was once Chad Ochocinco. This is a guy who, when he left Cincinnati, had a bad look when he went to New England. But since he has been out of the game, he has done some things that, honestly, I didn't like him all that much, but I am now falling in love with him. I think his Twitter handle is hilarious, but he does actually go out there and do things, and he helps people. And today he went into a little eatery in Florida, got a $30 meal, and he left a $1,000 tip. And I mean, thank you, left a Bible verse. It was realistically, extremely kind. And again, this is Chad Singo, and here's what he said. Congrats on reopening. Sorry about the pandemic. Hope this helps. I love you. The tab was 37, and then he leaves Proverbs 11:23, which is a Bible verse that states, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. And that went public. I mean, that went viral. A lot of people are seeing this, and some people might say, hey, he's calling attention to himself. Maybe he is, but he's doing it for a good cause, so I'm not upset
That was
with
my
it.
first thought. And, like, usually in these situations, I sort of got talked out of this. I would say that's kind of tacky to post it about yourself. But at the same time, this could become a challenge. You're challenging everyone else
to
do the same thing. You put a Bible verse above it.
And he says, I love you. I love
It's
it.
all in great thought, but, you know, I definitely think that was the first thought of a lot of people is,
I think it was. I think you were definitely not the first person. I know a lot of people out there said Chad Johnson trying to get pub. Chad Johnson can't get enough Chad Johnson. Again, out of all the industries, I don't think there's an industry out there that's been more impacted than the restaurant industry. And for people to go out there and do a little bit to help, I know I'm tipping a little bit more. I'm trying to order stuff out, write down my favorite places and make sure I take care of my favorite bartenders and stuff. Shout out to Lydia, what's up? Gabe knows that. I take care of them. But no, for Chad to do this, it could be a little bit of, hey, look at me. But again, the good that it's going to do outweighs whatever, you know,
negative attention light
or
that might come back.
narcissistic purpose or whatever. I'm just so proud that he did it. You know what I mean? And he put it out there because I think other people will do this. So
did you, by any chance, see the story? I know I'm changing subjects
Go ahead,
so
go right
badly
ahead.
here. Did you see the story about Donald Sterling the other day in CBS Sports?
No. Wait. About how he didn't want white players?
He didn't want J.J. Redick because he was white.
He didn't want him because he was white.
Is there a race or ethnicity that Donald Sterling doesn't have something against? No. I'll answer that question.
Rich. Only thing that he doesn't have offense against is rich people, and that's green. So if you are green,
but
with money, he loves
obviously this was in what 2013 or 14.
Dude, that's so funny.
And
no, I ain't gonna get a white player.
Apparently, Doc Rivers ripped him a new one, and he changed his mind. And they got J.J. Redick. But good God.
I think it's hilarious.
Donald Sterling.
You're such a joke, Donald. Now, I'm going to ask you this. I don't know who this is, but please tell me you've seen this. Have you heard about the NFL player who went on a flight from Los Angeles to Newark?
The anonymous one, correct.
The anonymous one. He's in civil court right now. According to this, there was unwanted sexual advances by this female. Now, this female, this man now, he said he got up 3 times and asked for help from the flight attendant, and then he finally just moved. But he said for more than an hour, the woman kept advancing, and then they intensified so much to where she pulled something out, and then she grabbed the man, and then he just jumps up and takes off and goes to the back. And he says he chastised her on the entire plane and is basically like, that is sexual assault.
United Airlines, too.
Yes,
United
Airlines. They're
good
getting
God,
bad
man. Figure it out.
Everywhere.
Because what was that, 2 years ago where they just battered that guy to get him off the plane?
Yep. Oh, God, that was so bad.
Yeah, but now, I mean, you got to do something a little quicker. With sexual
3 times?
So what I actually read is that they ended up forcibly removing her and putting her in the back.
They did.
But it was after
3 complaints.
Yeah.
3 complaints.
First one, you ought to do that.
Yeah, and it was from the first complaint till they finally moved her. They said
and after she grabbed
more than an hour, and it wasn't until she grabbed his.
You know what?
Doohickey. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Now they know what you're talking about. Perfect. But no, that is crazy. Now, the one other thing I wanted to say that is awesome, and I brought a little bit of attention to this, but I wanted to say it one more time before I go to break. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. There's a young lady named Hannah Hall. She's 5'3". She's a Division I point guard from the University at Buffalo. She was struggling with anorexia and mental health issues. She put out her story. It went viral, and I just wanted to say, go out there and get help. Let those people help you. It makes you stronger. It doesn't make you weaker. And I just appreciate Hannah Hall, a Division I athlete, a 5'3" point guard at the University at Buffalo, for standing so strong during Mental Health Awareness Month. And I just want to say thank you. And go check it out at Johnny_radio, or check out it's on UB Athletics. That's at UB Athletics. Check out her story. It's very inspirational. Now, we'll be back in 2 shakes. Don't forget to go give that blood. 1-866-END-CV19. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
The folks at Odor Eaters want to express our deep appreciation for the healthcare professionals, first responders, and essential business employees who continue to do so much to take care of the rest of us. To all of you working harder and longer days, if our products can help make the days ahead a little more bearable, you can find them in stores and online at Walmart, Target, CVS, or other fine retailers. Thank you.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here!
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
I am your pusher man. Thinking about pushing some stuff on you too, by the way. Like, have you seen Peter Edmiston? Him and John Hollinger have done this little piece. You can hear Peter in the morning with CJ on Sports 56 mornings, but he's got a piece on The Athletic. Him and John Hollinger did a little mailbag and answered y'all's questions. So check it out. That's at Peter Edmiston. And then I just got to say, you know, with all this stuff, Michael Jordan, was not a perfect human being. But it was a docuseries about Michael Jordan. He did more for the basketball than anybody in the world. But Mike Conley is probably a nicer person. He gave $200,000. What an assist. I love Mike Conley. He's a great person. And he dropped $200K for those affected in Memphis, Columbus, Indiana, and Utah to help assist in fighting the coronavirus. So, again, Mike Conley, you're a baller. But two things happened. Go ahead.
I was just going to remind people, if you didn't catch it before we got into Hardenwood, the NCAA Division I Council has voted to approve all voluntary athletic activities in football, men's and women's basketball beginning on June 1st. So now it's up to the different conferences to decide if they want to have people back on June 1st, because the NCAA will allow it.
And you know, by the way, AD for Ohio State, Gene Smith, has already come out and said he wants workouts to be June 8th. That's what he's
And
shooting
also,
for.
he said that they are planning on having 20 to 30,000 people in their stadium if they can help it.
If they can help it, that's exactly right. Good job. Gabe is on fire, man. That's what I love about Gabe. He's always he's the producer with the most. Y'all check him out at G_Coon71. But two things happened today that are not necessarily sports related that have me a little freaked out. Please tell me you heard about this. Thousands have had to evacuate after the dams busted in Michigan. Did you see that? How in the heck? How is that happening? I don't know. That just, that is
the dam's
scary.
busted. Now they're going to have to build them up stronger. It's not good.
That is bad.
It's really bad.
And it's really scary, and it was really sad. But then the other thing is,
a lot of people are going to lose their homes.
Oh, man.
Because
Yeah,
of
it's so sad. And then plus the coronavirus. So anyway, my thoughts and prayers for all the people up in Michigan who are dealing with this emergency. I'm so sorry for you. But I got to give also a thanks to @RaiderCorey. If y'all don't know Raider Corey, give him a follow. He's great. But did you see what he retweeted about that Missouri pilot who landed on the street in between two cars and then was driving down? That was the baddest landing I've
want
ever
him
seen.
flying. I want him,
dude,
piloting my plane.
Him or Sully? Sully
come
Sullenberger.
on!
Dude,
Don't
he
make me
landed
pick.
without
Don't
wheels.
make me
That's a
pick
tough
between
one.
Sully and
Either
Sully and
one
him.
is a great one.
He landed on a
Dude,
freeway.
he landed on a freeway in between
two. I have never seen a maneuver like that unless it's like the the
Mission
Blue Angels
Impossible
or whatever.
fake stuff. Dude, no. I'm talking about you see it on a Mission Impossible movie where it's fake. This is real. Homie landed his plane. I watch this and I'm like, how did he land, stop and not run into the back of that car, and then also stop so the 18-wheeler didn't run up his you-know-what? That was some dope flying by that guy. And then when you see at the very end him standing on his wing, he's probably going for a cigarette or something. Dude, I need a drink, man. That was I didn't know how this one was going to turn out, bro.
I wouldn't imagine the amount of emotions and how scared I would be, the feeling in my stomach if I took off in my plane and immediately it said engine failure and started the red lights are flashing and it's slowly falling.
Sir, can you make it to this airport? No. Sir, where can you make it? I'm going down. There's a street in front of me. I'm landed. You know what I mean? Oh, that's a bad damn day when you're in your plane. But I got to also say, y'all think I'm crazy? Paul Pierce might be a little bit loopy. Paul Pierce came out there and said, get this, no way, not a chance. LeBron James doesn't deserve to be considered one of the top 5 players in NBA history. That's hilarious. What are people on? Whoa. I love you, Paul. But he said, Kareem, Magic, Michael, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, and Kobe, drop it. He's not even in my top 10. I'm up there before him. Hold up, Paul. Paul, I love you, man. I love you, Paul. But damn, you getting a little bit crazy, yo. And then he also said Ray Allen, which I love Ray Allen. And in fact, he got LeBron one of those championships.
Paul Pierce seems to have this certain inferiority complex about him with where his legacy is all the time.
Absolutely. Doesn't like the fact that people think Kevin Garnett better than him. Dude, it was, the truth. He is the truth. And by the way, he said he's speaking the truth. Well, I don't know how many people are going to be calling you the truth after this one, yo. I think they might call you the locked up one, or get that dude a padded room, or what is that thing where you get those what is that thing, a jacket, straight jacket. Get that man a straight jacket. They're gonna call him the truth, straight jacket, the truth Anyway, I got to bounce. Y'all know Wolo and Stats are going to come up. They're going to drive you home from 3 to 6. But for Gabe Kuhn, I'm John Harden. Get out there, everybody. Make this world a better place. And remember, the SEC, it looks weak, but KJ Costello, heck, who knows, Kellen Mond, there's somebody that's going to turn out to be pretty good because it's the SEC. But we'll absolutely have to wait and see as things are changing. Make the world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace!